Let's take a look at that market yesterday, falling back yesterday once again. It's down 5% the year. What is your asset allocation strategy regarding allocation between fixed assets and equities at this stage?
Thank you, Samantha. What you have to understand is generally the market has been down, like you said, coming down by 0.67%. That is the Osher index and the market capitalization. Of course, we noticed that even the fixed income market has been trending upwards, of course, with a corresponding decrease in yield. As well, the money market as well, recorded, decline across board, all tenor, buckets. Our current strategy, really, we are focusing more, on the fixed income segment, though it depends on what the investment objective is for the investor. For somebody that is that wants to be conservative, that is not willing to take much risk, we will advise the person to focus more on the fixed income segment, because we've seen a lot of activities in that segment. But I think the main strategy really that we should be talking about in the equity market should be looking at stocks that have real value in terms of the price to book. Many of them, of course, if you look at the banking sector currently, has been trading below its book value. Like I mentioned, if you look at the likes of Fidelity closed, at 2 naira 15 kobo yesterday, as against the book value of 4 naira, 70 kobo. That offers about 40% discount. So the strategy in equity should be focused on stocks that are trading below its book value.
Edgar, what do you take of the news that the central bank has cancelled Vine Capital's acquisition of rescued bank Afribank, and that Fidelity might be asked to step in? Do they have the financial muscle to be able to buy into Afribank?
Currently, the shareholders fund of Fidelity Bank stands at above 136 billion, which of course makes it an international bank, as it qualifies for to play in the international arena. Of course, we know that Afribank shareholders fund is negative, in excess of 200 billion. Don't forget the fact that AMCON is set to recapitalize these rescued banks to zero level. And when that happens, of course, it makes it easier for acquisition. But my concern, in that major arrangement is that both of them are conservative banks. For two conservative banks to come together, might not produce a very aggressive, bank. But by and large, I think Fidelity will have something to benefit from that, going for the fact that, okay, they don't have much branch network, and we know that Afribank, of course, has a national presence. So that integration would definitely, play out well for Fidelity Bank.
Fidelity Bank is targeting loan growth of 25% this year, given the fact that we've had the likes of Zenith only growing their loan book at around 11%, Skybank a net negative position when you look at quarterly loan growth coming through there. Does Fidelity, do you think that it would be able to achieve a 25% growth this year?
Yes, that is feasible, going by the fact that really they have the fund. The challenge has been to see investment outlets that quite qualify for investments. They have the fund sitting on, and if you look at what is happening, because at the end of the day, most of the banks should be trimmed down, because we are not expecting to see up to 25 banks in Nigeria anymore. I mean 24 by the time they finish the merger. So for that, I think there will be more businesses for those that will survive, this major, time.
The inflation rate fell to 10.2% in June from 12.4% in May. What type of rhetoric are you looking for out of the CBN at its Monetary Policy Committee meeting in terms of its inflation outlook and its decision on rates going forward?
Well, I would say that inflation of 10.2% to us at Cowry, we believe is a big shock, though on the positive side, because declining from 12.4 to 10.2 is quite large. Going by the fact that we still have a lot of structural challenges, for the government to battle with. looking at the recent over 1.3 trillion, released by the Federation Allocation Committee, FAC, recently, that of course will pose another challenge for the government because they have to seek avenues to mop up these funds. Otherwise, inflation will be by the corner. And again, if you look at currently, Labour has been agitating for a minimum wage of 18,000 naira. Of course, if that is granted, that poses another challenge again for the economy because that means more fund in circulation chasing few goods. The challenge we have in Nigeria really is for Nigeria to look at ways and means of improving the private sector so that more goods will be provided and prices will, of course, come down. A lot of factors. Look at the exchange rate. Looking at the black market, of course, is still at 160 naira per dollar. That shows that there's still pressure, even when there's appreciation, in the official rate. So by and large, the Monetary Policy Committee has a lot to to tinker with. At the end of the day, we expect them to come up with likely tighter monetary policies. At the end of the day.